Hi everyone, in this video we're going to look at the all-new, all-in-one Affinity app for desktop. This app takes all of the tools in Designer, Photo, and Publisher and puts them together in a single app along with many new features. This is the first in the series of videos where I'll show you how to set up new documents, take a tour of the user interface, and I'll show you how to customize studios and tools plus lots more. I've had the privilege of being able to beta test this app over the last several months and I'm excited to show you around. But I do want to note, I wasn't paid to participate in the panel, and this video is not sponsored by Affinity. Alright, so we have lots to cover. Let's get started. Before we get into it, let's first talk about downloading the app and the cost. If you haven't already, you can download the new app at affinity.studio, and I've linked that below. You are going to need to set up a free Canva account to log into the app, however that's just to log in. Then you can use it offline. A little later in the video, I'm going to show you how to tie your original Affinity ID once you're inside the app. Now you can download and use the app for free. The only cost associated with it is if you wish to use the built-in AI tools via Canva. In that case, you would need a Canva Pro subscription. However, that's entirely optional. None of the Affinity tools are behind paywalls. It's a fully functioning app that again works offline. When you open the app, you'll come to this welcome page, and the very first time that you open it, the only thing that you're going to see are the files here in the Welcome to Affinity section, as well as some built-in presets. As you begin to work in documents and add favorites, templates, and your own presets, they'll begin to show up here as well, and each section can be accessed along the top here. At the top right, this house icon will take you back to this main screen if you're in the New Documents section. The folder is going to take you to your files so that you can open a document, and the plus sign will take you to the New Documents page. Along the top left, this is where you can check your account settings, and under Advanced is where you can link your Affinity ID. Now, I've already done that, and that's why it says Manage Purchased Content. But when I do that, you can see it has anything that I had tied to my old account. Let's head into the New Document dialog and talk about setting up a new canvas. When you move to the New Document screen, you'll first see a list of presets. As you scroll down, you'll find a number of built-in presets under different categories, listing out their size as well as their color space. You can change the orientation of these presets by clicking the icons up here at the top. Double-clicking on a preset is going to open it up, and if you want to get back to that welcome page, you can just click on the logo at the top left here. Single-clicking on a preset is going to allow me to select it and then make changes over here in the document settings. Now, this is toggled off by default. Once you turn it on, it'll stay on until you toggle it off. So I've single-clicked on letter preset here under the page sizes RGB category, and I want to make some changes to this and then save it as a preset so I can use it in the future. Under document units, I'm going to change this from inches to pixels. It's just how I prefer to work. I'll keep the DPI the same. And you can notice that the width and height have been changed to pixels now that I've changed that here. The color format is RGB, which is just fine because that's what I expected, but if I needed to change it, I could do that here. I don't need a transparent background, so I'm going to leave that off. I do want to draw your attention to something with both the artboard and multi-page settings. If I toggle on artboard, you can see that multi-page settings are now grayed out. If you worked with Designer and Publisher in the past, you know that artboards don't exist in Publisher. They're a vector tool. If you decide that you want to work with an artboard, you're not going to be able to set up master pages or multiple facing pages. When I toggle artboard off, that's going to light up again, but as soon as I turn that on, you can see that now artboard is grayed out. So when setting up your document, you're going to need to choose between the two. That said, if you set up an artboard, it's not going to prevent you from using the tools from the Layout Studio. You'll still be able to use things like tables and picture frames. You just won't be able to work with facing and master pages. There's no way to change it from artboard to multi-page or vice versa once you're in your document, so just keep that in mind when you're setting your canvas up. Image placement can be set here as either embedded or linked. In other words, any images or other files that you bring in are either embedded into the document and therefore it's portable, or you're linking them from an external folder, mainly to prevent your file from getting too large. You can also import text files as linked and preserve the text styles within those imported files. Margins bleed in drawing work exactly as they did in version 2. If you're brand new to the app, you can either set them up here or within your document. I find it's easier to do it in there, that way I can see what I'm doing. Before I click Create Document to set this up, I want to show you how to set up presets and favorites. Now up here at the top, you're going to notice one category for your custom presets called My Presets. And as of right now, you can't add additional custom categories. Whether that changes down the road, I'm not certain, but for now, while you can't set up custom categories, you can label your presets however you'd like. So if you use special naming conventions here in the title box, you can use the search function up here at the top left to find a particular preset. So I've made the changes that I want, and I want to save this as a preset so I can use it again. I'm going to go up to the top here to the title bar, and I'm going to change this to 2550 by 3300 pixels. And I'm just going to list out that I have 300 DPI and an artboard. And then I'll click Create Preset, and you can see that it showed up right there. Now, while you can't reorder the built-in presets, there is some ability to reorder your custom presets, but right now it's a little bit buggy. So I can take this and move it up to the top, but sometimes it just won't move. So I'm going to move it to here, but if I try and move it down here, you can see that it's stuck. I'm just going to bring it back to here. There's going to be kinks that they work out in this app over time, so just be patient, but you can reorder it to a degree. Now, if I hover over the preset that I just created, you can see that on the left, there's an X, which means I can delete it from my presets. I can also right-click and choose Delete there. If I hover over the right, you can see that I have this star, and if I click on that, that's going to add it to my favorites, and I'm going to add 2 additional ones here. I'll take you over to the favorites in a moment. Before I do that though, I want to show you how you can update an existing preset. Let's say that I want to change the DPI on the preset I just created from 300 to 150. I'll select the preset with a single click, go to the DPI and change it. I'm going to make sure that I tab out of that box to set it. And then when I hover over the preset, you can see that I get this sync button. I can either click on that or I can right click and choose update, and it's going to confirm that I want to do that. Now, of course, I used the 300 DPI in the name, so I can right click again, choose rename. I'll go ahead and delete that, replace it with 150 and click OK, and I'm all set. Now moving back to the favorites tab here, just like the presets, you can reorder these. They're going to be added in the order that you select them. So I can move that to the front if I want. If I want to remove something from my favorites, I can just hover over the left side. Now you're not limited to just presets. You can actually add templates as a preset. You can see that I get a star over this. And if you have any open recent documents, you can add them as favorites as well. If you have any questions about what you learned in this video, please let me know in the comments below. Coming up in the next video, we'll do a quick overview of the Affinity interface, and you can find that video right here. Thanks for watching.